Here with reaction tonight, we welcome Fox News contributor Ari Fleischer, former Arkansas governor Mike Huckabee. Guys, good to have you. Governor, let me begin with you tonight. This is a really serious thing because with the information we got from the 1023 form, I mean, you have a credible FBI informant getting credible information from the head of Burisma. The head of Burisma is describing what is nothing short of pure bribery, that he paid the Bidens, what in this case he said in that form and was quoted in that form as saying $5 million to each Biden. He said he didn't want to have to pay for it. He thought Hunter, who he was in business with, was stupid and his dog was smarter than Hunter. But yet, you know, we're beginning to see money flow back and forth here. Is that a real bribery scandal in your mind?
I don't pretend to be a lawyer. I don't even play one on TV, but I don't think you have to be a lawyer to see that this just stinks to high heaven. Look, I'd rather defend Madonna's modesty than I would try to defend Joe Biden with all of these accusations that are going on with bribery, influence peddling. And I want to be very clear, and you've done this repeatedly. This is not about Hunter Biden. He's a mess, a hot mess. But this is about Joe Biden. It's about how much did he get as the big guy. This is about whether, as sitting vice president, he sold influence, but not just to anybody, but to corrupt officials in Ukraine, Russia, and worst of all, communist China.
Okay, so, Ari, that raises the question. What did countries like Ukraine and China and Russia and Romania and Mexico and a dozen countries more, what did they expect an admitted crack addict at the time to offer them in terms of services for what Nancy Mace says will be north of $50 million paid to the Biden family, and some members of the Oversight Committee suggesting it may be as high as $100 million? What possibly could Hunter Biden offer them? What services, what expertise for that kind of money?
It's simple. He offered them the intervention of the vice president of the United States to help solve their problems, to fire the prosecutor who was looking into Burisma. It's that simple. And as Devin Archer, his business partner, testified, it was the illusion of it all. Look, Sean, if I was pitching clients right now and I said, hey, before we get going in this meeting, I've got George Bush on the line. He just wants to talk to you about the weather. Hey, Mr. President, great to have you here. Everybody in that room would go, oh, he can get the president down the line. Isn't that so? Everybody knows what that would be. The difference is no politician I ever worked for would have gotten on that line. It would have been unethical. It was corruption. Joe Biden got on the line more than 20 times. That is corruption.
Okay, so, Governor, isn't Burisma really the one case that we really have a lot of information and evidence on? Because I've played over and over again on this show Joe Biden bragging that he withheld $1 billion taxpayer dollars to Ukraine, gave them 6 hours to fire the prosecutor, and son of a bee, they fired the guy, which meant that the investigation into Burisma that was paying Hunter and the Biden family all this money, millions of dollars, they got what they paid for. Hunter continues to get paid money, and you know, they benefit financially. I don't know if there's a bigger slam dunk case for that allegation than that. Do you?
Can't think of it. I mean, this is pretty obvious. Joe Biden boasts about getting Shokin, the prosecutor in the Ukraine, fired. The result of that, $1 billion of U.S. taxpayer money now goes to Ukraine because Joe got what he wanted after threatening them. That in itself is stunning. But I do want to correct one thing. What he actually said, because we've watched him now on the beach there at Rehoboth in Delaware, he actually said, son of a beach, because that's what he mostly has been doing the past several days. So just to clear that up, no expletive there at all.
Well said. But Ari, when you look at this tape and then you look at Joe Biden, he said it repeatedly as a candidate, repeatedly as a president. I never one time spoke to my son Hunter or my brother or anybody for that matter about their foreign business deals. Only in the last 2 weeks did the White House begin a narrative shift. and they began to adjust that statement. No, as we've been telling you, Joe was never in business with Hunter. But yet we have now, thanks to Devon Archer, we have confirmation of a phone call that took place in December 2015, that was December 4th to be exact, where the people, the lead people at Burisma desperately needed to get Washington, D.C.'s help. And Joe Biden got on the line. And that led to a series of events that followed right thereafter. And that led to the moment where Joe said, you're not getting $1 billion unless you fire the guy. So did Burisma pay for the firing of the prosecutor that Devon Archer suggested could have put Burisma out of business? And that also opened the door that Hunter continued to get paid? In other words, enrichment for the Biden family?
Sure, Hunter delivered. Hunter delivered, and his father was the one who came across with the delivery of firing the prosecutor. Burisma got its money's worth out of Hunter Biden because his father took official governmental action at his son's behest. Look, Sean, what father doesn't talk to his child about business? Every father talks to their children about their life, their business, how's it going, what are you doing? Especially one who portrays himself as a loving father. So when Joe Biden denied with all that vehemency, and he said, I never talked to my son about business, period, I instantly thought, he's going too far. Why is he denying it that strenuously? Yeah. And the reason is because he was protecting himself, because he knew he was involved, he knew he was on those phone calls, he knew his son used him to purvey the impression that my father will intervene for you, and Joe Biden was covering up his own corruption with an answer that strong, which we now know is a lie.
And now we also know the media is protecting the Biden syndicate. Ari Fleischer, Governor Huckabee, thank you.